I wanted to give a little bit more reaction to the Bo Davis hire and just how strong of a hire that was for LSU here in this short offseason. And it seemed like going back and forth between Bo Davis throughout the latter part of the regular season. You heard and started to hear some things on the front that Bo Davis's name was becoming very popular inside of LSU's facility and a guy that they were making a sincere run at. And, last weekend, it really kind of boiled over, and it seemed as if both sides had moved on. We had gotten here Monday morning and talked to some people where it looked like that story had been revived over the weekend, and Bo Davis and LSU were, not letting it die. We're kind of, getting back and trying to revive it. But, ultimately they ended up striking the deal early on in the week. And, for LSU here in this early offseason to open up the checkbook like they have and go out and, had to really buy out the former staff and then, go and be aggressive in negotiation and putting together the new staff. Blake Baker was a guy that obviously was demanding a ton of interest and was going to take a financial commitment to get him aboard. And LSU did that. I mean, making him the highest paid coordinator in college football and then going and grabbing Bo Davis and making him the highest paid defensive line coach in college football. And, I think Brian Kelly sees that he has a incredible opportunity here to really make a run to the top of the mountain of this early expanded SEC, where you've got this new blood coming in of Oklahoma and Texas, and everybody's trying to, really kind of set themselves up for how this pecking order is going to shake out, at least early on of this new model, right? And with Saban out of the scene in Tuscaloosa, it opens up an enormous runway for schools to really take these quick jumps to the top, and especially schools that are set up internally and set up from an infrastructure standpoint and prepared to make that leap. LSU's always been right there kind of nipping at the heels of Alabama, but couldn't really, get to the mountaintop and stay as consistent as Bama was every single year, whether it be in recruiting, on the field development, and just competing on Saturdays. I mean, that game between LSU and Alabama was always a classic, but I mean, how many times, right, was it just a bit short, right? Where, I mean, it was just not quite there. I mean, it was a great heavyweight fight for 12 rounds, but at the end of it, you just weren't the last one standing the more consistent amount of times. And, right now, teams have a great opportunity because, speaking from a competitive standpoint, whoever they hire, whether it would have been Dan Lanning, whether it had been Steve Sarkisian, whether it's Kalen DeBoer, ain't nobody Nick Saban, right? Like, nobody strikes the fear in you like Saban did, like a Saban-led program. Forget the game versus him. It was always just about the 365 with him. And I was listening to an interview this morning with Andrew Whitworth, who was on with Cole and McElroy on 94.5 Jocks in Birmingham and throughout the state of Alabama. And those guys do morning drive, and they had Andrew Whitworth on talking about Saban. And Whitworth was like, "Look, man, guy played 20 years in the NFL. He's seen a lot of really good coaches." And he said the thing that made Saban different was that he just brought this intensity and this passion every day. Like, every day he expected you to walk the line. He expected you to hold the standard. And he was like, I mean, we even had days in the NFL where some coaches would let that slip. But that was the consistency about, and nobody does it like him, man. Whoever they bring in there, it's not going to be his program. So there's a great opportunity for schools like LSU and even, like an Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss it's run different. They're kind of a year-by-year basis, but they're making the commitment to say, hey, look, they want to play. But, I mean, you obviously have Georgia who's already there, but schools like LSU that I think is sitting in a prime spot to make a real like jump at standing tall inside of college football's new look for at least the first 5 to 6 years of it. I mean, that's kind of the power structure that's happening right now. I mean, people are kind of aligning, getting in line to find out where we fit. I mean, we got to get in that top 12. I mean, that's everybody's method of thinking this day. I mean, just get you into the top 12. And, I mean, with the king of the mountain stepping down, I mean, everybody probably woke up on Thursday morning feeling like they had better of a chance than they did on Wednesday. And I think LSU is probably sitting in as good as a position as anybody to be at that table, at least early on here, of the new model and what it looks like. So, bringing in Bo Davis to solidify that, bringing in Blake Baker to really, commit to that, I think it's a loud statement within the league. Definitely within the league. May not have sent any type of ripples from a national story, but you go take Missouri's defensive coordinator, who is really made defensively Missouri somebody to really have to prepare for, and then you go pluck away Texas's defensive line coach, who's been responsible for some high elite 5-star talent landing in Austin with an LSU tie and been in the SEC. That's, people in the league are saying, okay, I mean, they're getting back to their commitment to defense. And, the more you think about this Jaden Daniels team, man, if they can put this defense together, a year, 2 years from now, and you think back to this Daniels year of, just how bad they were on that side, and, you really sacrifice an offense and a talent that I think is going to be very rare to see. I mean, if you got Daniels and Burrows side by side and you ask me which one is more rare, I would say Daniels. And I don't know when's the next time you see somebody that can really run it and throw it as good as he could and just take over a game like he could with both skill sets. But the commitment's back. I mean, LSU is, is making that commitment once again to the defensive side. Remember, Katie's Restaurant, New Orleans. Katie's of Baton Rouge. Katie's in New Orleans. You can find them on Iberville Street. Katie'sInMidCity.com. Katie'sInMidCity.com is where you can find them. You can find them there online, or you can get to them just by walking in over in Iberville Street. We told you about their new Sunday hours. 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. is where you can find them. They also have their sister restaurant, Francesca's, which is a sandwich deli located over in Lakeview. Find out more information online at Katie'sInMidCity.com. Katie'sInMidCity.com. I know that people are asking about what the status is of Corey Raymond, and the more the days go by here, the more it feels like this deal is not necessarily done like we have heard at times, or even starting to feel like it's imminent. I think for a while there, people were thinking, look, this Corey Raymond deal is just kind of like signed and sealed, just have to deliver it. And you get in this you get the defensive coordinator, you get the defensive line. You would think that DBs would follow here pretty soon, and Raymond is a guy that we know is just kind of out there. It's kind of open. So it is kind of curious of is it him? It may not be. We've heard from people that it's done. They're just kind of waiting to announce it. Maybe so. Maybe that is the deal. I don't know why you would continue to wait. I don't know what the holdup is, and maybe there's something that makes sense, but there could be other people in play too. I know Coach Robinson at Travarius Robinson at Alabama is open and out there now. Shevish Jackson's name keeps coming up, who's coaching DBs at Marshall. I think it's Corey Raymond's name has been around for a while, but time just keeps ticking. time just keeps moving, and Corey Raymond's still available. So, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens there. I would imagine that they want to have this thing filled pretty good, pretty soon. As we said, just kind of having your full staff intact and being able to just get out there and represent who you are, what you're selling, and hopefully attracting talent.